Good day. This is Roger signing in for the BFN, the Business Financial Network. And welcome to our special podcast series, Know Your CEO, where we get exclusive insights from the CEOs of one of the many companies our investment audience has been following as we continue to assist viewers in the discovery of unexplored. Frank Carnaval, the CEO of Alkaline Fuel Cell Power. How are you doing today, Frank? Idea of what the management team and more find out about you. And maybe at another time, we'll get into that. But we're going to ask some pointed questions are committed to. Cool?
That's great. Looking forward to that.
Awesome.
Fire away.
Awesome. So what problem is your company solving?
You know, that's always a critical question. I think everyone understands energy transition. And while there's no silver bullet, there's no one solution for all. But through a number of clean tech solutions that we have and innovative development transactions, you know, long-term power and heating contracts, we're providing renewable, affordable, and reliable power to the people. That's pretty simple of what we're doing today.
Awesome. Yeah. And you know what? I really like that slogan, power to the people. It is a really key slogan. It helps investors. It helps your customers. It helps your potential strategic partners understand what you guys are committed to. And if you were to describe your business in one sentence, how would you?
Yeah, that's one sentence. I mean, we are a unique business.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I think in this global energy transition, we try to build something. We have this unique mix of combining this alternate asset class of delivering more immediate revenue opportunities through on-site long-term power and heating. And then the midterm and longer term are generating our clean tech fuel cell solutions for the same, you know, residential and the ICI sectors as well for backup power and for off-grid customers as well. So
looking at some press a little bit back, and you guys were talking about having a $50 million pipeline. Okay. And that's really intriguing in itself. I think you're really early stage in this game in terms of hydrogen. Let's be candid. How did this idea become a business?
So, you know, that's also another great question because, you know, there's the original idea was, you can go back to the European Space Agency. They've already used fuel cells and alkaline fuel cells in space. So this isn't new. They've already done it. The people behind this business before I got here they understood there was a need in a market for small alkaline fuel cells. This business has been on for about a year and a half since it's become public.
Okay.
The second component is really understanding these market conditions, which I know you and your investors know all too well. The second part is understanding we're not there yet where that part of the business can generate revenue right away. We're getting there. We do have our prototype, but it's what can we do in this global energy transition to assist us and the investors in appreciating, you know, and what this can be. And that is this company acquired combined heat power combustion engine assets.
Wow.
So we bought a system that's operational in Toronto. It closed back in May. And it's about a 300 kilowatt project. So, you know, about $1 million, let's say, an asset. And that is the immediate revenue opportunity. So what's interesting is if you look at the global energy transit, and our fuel cells would be critical to that success. But even in this energy transition, using and developing in say a condominium corporation in the city of Toronto, we're giving savings to them. We're literally bringing power to the people. They're saving money. It's cheaper than what parts of the business came up. It was how do we de-risk the fact that investors don't in this market want to wait years until revenue comes in. Fuel cell, and we balance it.
Wow, that's a really good answer. There's a lot of interest in this hydrogen space. There's a tremendous amount of it. And, you know, speaking to the fact this potential strategic partnership with this outfit out in the Middle East that specializes, I want to figure out first a little bit about that. And how does the company currently generate revenues?
So those, let me take them on. So the first one is we did achieve, we launched our first fuel cell prototype. As we launched it, I did say publicly that I'm pulling that commercialization, how we go to market, how we bring this to market to get revenues
Yeah.
quicker, how do we look at all that?
Yeah.
And while that was developed in Belgium, as I look globally, it's understanding we're going to deliver. We were lucky enough to find this great partner with Viridian Hydrogen in the Middle East and North Africa,
Wow.
where there's already a growing market to generate hydrogen in the Middle East, specifically UAE. This is the way we look to go to market globally in different regions. Could it be manufacturing? Could be strategic partnerships. Not a one size fits all, but that's
No.
the first one up, and we were really excited to announce that very recently. And then
Uh,
the second part, from a revenue perspective, again, we're trying
Agreed.
to balance the two. We
Yeah.
know that our prototypes of our fuel cells will be deployed. It's not going to bring us the more immediate revenue opportunities. So we look at our
Agreed.
CHP business that we're
Hmm.
at $2 million project. We
Wow.
hope to reach financial close sooner than later on that one. We
Nice.
have a $50 million pipeline of those types of projects, all in that sort of $1,000 of revenue in one current project. And we look
Hmm.
to continuously multiply that and get a number of projects done. But that's not, it's not just, let's announce a new project, because that's going to require some equity, require some senior
Exactly.
project debt. It's how do we add some steroids to this, and how do we look
Yeah.
at some acquisitions that already have existing revenue and earning streams on those projects. So there's a lot more to come. But again, it's, announcing that we were balancing our mix with some immediate revenue and our fuel cell business, which I've always believed to be the hockey stick of this platform. We have to continue to execute the CHP, the pipeline, the acquisitions, the growth on that side, to continue to build up that alternate asset class, and more particularly to get us. So here's another way to look at it. So we do have a
Uh-huh.
$2.2 million project that we do have some discussions with them. We're trying to refine all the details pre-construction, construction finance, right? Pre-financial close. Um, but even, any good developer knows this. We can develop a project, you still have to construct it, get it
That's right.
installed, matter. So every project that we develop has better returns when we develop them, but they also
Hmm.
have this lag effect of when you needed the capital to
That's right.
install and develop
That's right.
versus when they start. So I really am excited at looking at a number of acquisitions that can, help us hit the ground running and throw immediate revenues in coming quarters, rather than just doing it the organic approach. So I can't give any specific number, but it's going to be more than where it is today, because we're pretty aggressive in trying to find those acquisitions right now.
Awesome. 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 And nowadays the attention span of the average person, it's really short. And because of that, I don't want to continue the conversation on that tip of us getting deeper into it, but I'm very excited to get into this again with you. But more importantly, before we get to you again and find out more what's going to be happening with Alkaline Fuel Cell Power, what does the company have planned next?
This is the hard work that we have to do. It's to continue to reach financial close in the projects we have contracts along. So that's the core business we bought off of AI Renewables a number of months ago. So we continue that one along. So that's something people can expect. They can expect from us. And then beyond that, it's the really exciting part, which is really the upside of why you might look at this beyond an alternate asset class, which is exciting for certain investors to deploy the number of key pilots for the second half of the year. So we'll have more announcements on where those pilots will be, who they'll be with, and those will continue to roll out this year. But I will say, if you look at all that, what's critical to our success? So this isn't just, we have hopes of opportunities. We are a low cost option provider of versus the alternative in
Yes.
both scenarios.
Yes.
We're not only, we have a low cost alkaline fuel cell versus PEM fuel cells, and there's very good reasons why that's the case. I don't want to bore people, but we're, at least half the cost of that. So as
Yeah.
we look to go forward, we have some good room, good space to really prove ourselves in the market and get on more than our fair share. On the cogeneration, putting combined heat power plants in buildings, say in Canada,
Yeah.
again, are we cost effective? Absolutely. We have models to provide at least a 20% discount to, say, a condo corporation to buy electricity from us than buying it from a local electric utility. So we understand the ingredients that allow us to be very competitive and truly bring power to the people in every aspect of it.
And you know what? That's the biggest key here, is that you guys are providing a cost-effective solution in a situation where energy disparity is huge. And on that note, I'm very pleased and humbled that you spent the time with us today to talk to our investment community regarding your play. More importantly, we're looking forward to seeing you in the future. And as always, all the information being shared here is for entertainment and educational purposes. And we here at BFN are not financial advisors. So no past or future performance guarantees gains or losses. But to keep on winning, you got to keep on watching. And Frank, thank you very much for your time. And we're looking forward to speaking to you again.
Roger, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.